Now, we all know that the Bronx is a zoo. We all know that Yankee fans are a complete bunch of fucking idiots. Now, those two Yankee fans were involved in stopping Mookie Betts catching the ball after he caught the ball in the early innings of Game 4 of the 2024 World Series at Yankee Stadium, acting like a bunch of heroes, and there were more a bunch of goons. I think Major League Baseball should throw them out forever, because if a Canadian would have done that with a Yankee player, can imagine the bullshit that would be in there. Probably Harold Reynolds would call for the Canadian burning of the Canadian flag. But this is not the first time a Yankee fan has fucked up a game or even a series. The Jeffrey Maier incident, boys, I didn't watch this live because I wasn't a big fan of the ALCS back in the late 90s, because it was a couple of years after the Blue Jays were what they call AL East contenders. Now, the Jeffrey Maier incident, which was broadcast live, occurred during Game 1 of the 96 ALCS between the hometown Yankees and the Orioles. 12-year-old Jeffrey Maier, probably, I don't know, in Baltimore, the most hated person besides Earl Weaver, deflected a batted ball hit by Derek Jeter into the Yankee Stadium stands for what umpires ruled to be a home run. Now, he didn't catch it, he deflected it. This wasn't called fan interference. His interference altered the course of Game 1. The resulting homer allowed the Yankees to tie the score. They were victorious in the series and eventually won the set 4-1. Maier became an immediate celebrity in New York, a pariah in Baltimore, and an everlasting character in baseball lore. Not in Canada. We don't see this as bad as Bartman, but it's pretty fucking close. Now, on October 1996, the Yankees trailed the Orioles 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th when shortstop Derek Jeter hit a deep fly ball to right field. Right fielder Tony Tarasco moved near the fence and appeared to draw a bead on the ball. When the then 12-year-old Maier clearly reached over the fence, separating the stands and field of play 9 feet below, and snatched the ball with his glove, and Bob Costin says, well, what do we have here, or what will happen here? While baseball fans are permitted to catch and keep balls into the stands, the Major League Baseball rulebook states that spectator interference is to be called if a spectator reaches out of the stands or goes on the playing field and touches a live ball. Now, with Mookie Betts' catch, he caught the ball, and then one guy took the ball out of his glove while the other guy, I think, moved it even farther. So it was already a catch, but there were three umpires watching the play from the start. And we improved a lot since this and the Bartman incident. Now, right field umpire Rick Garcia immediately ruled the play a home run, tying the game at 4-4 despite the protests of Tarasco and Orioles batter Davey Johnson. The latter was ejected in the ensuing argument. Now, this was Costas' call. In right field, Tarasco going back to the track to the wall, and what happens here? He contends that a fan reaches up and touches it, but Richie Garcia says no, it's a home run. The Yankees won the game in the 11th inning on Bernie Williams' walk-off home run. The Orioles maintained their protest of the Maier play after the conclusion of the contests, but their protest was denied by American League President Gene Buddig because judgment calls cannot be protested. After reviewing the replay, Garcia admitted he made a mistake and that there was spectator interference, but maintained Maier reached out, not down, and did not interfere with Tarasco's ability to catch the ball, and that Tarasco would not have caught it. Tarasco adamantly disagreed, maintaining he would have caught the ball without Maier's interference. He probably would have. Had Garcia called spectator interference, he would then have used his own judgment to determine where the most likely outcome of the play would be, either an out or awarding Jeter a given number of bases, maybe 1-3. Garcia accepted Baltimore's fans later booing him, but it was disturbed when Yankee fans cheered him as he did not want to appear biased. 2 days after the incident, Garcia said no one felt worse about it than he did, but that one play after 22 years of hard work as an umpire should not make him hang his head, adding, I love Baltimore, I love the team, and I love the stadium, Camden Yards. Not really a Blue Jay fan, you can tell. Now, the Yankees went on to win the series against Baltimore, 4-1, as well as the World Series against the Braves. As a result of the play, a railing was added to behind a right field wall at Yankee Stadium to prevent fans from reaching over it. Meanwhile, in New York, Maier became a minor celebrity. The New York Times described him as having become New York royalty, and it did the talk show circuit. The New York Daily News allowed him to sit behind the Yankee dugout during the World Series. The boy appeared again on numerous national talk shows. On the other end, a 2012 article in the Baltimore Sun began, the most despised child in the history of Baltimore sports has all grown up. I guess he went into a sports career. The Yankees manager Joe Torre said after the incident, I think it's glorifying the wrong thing. Maier himself has come to terms more over the years with the impact of the incident. As he's grown older, married, and become a father, he has stated publicly it's a huge part of baseball history, either positive or negative depending on your allegiance, but a part of history nonetheless. Now, we talk about the Bartman incident, and that was basically a bunch of people going for the ball, but it was already in the stands. I don't think Moises would have caught it. Now, according to a recent article in New York Post, which didn't predict what happened last night, he got to relive his fan interference drama all over again 28 years later. Now, the idea that a Dodgers fan got overeager Friday night, and it was similar to the Maier incident. Now, in an interview from his home in New Hampshire about that incident, Jeff has been historically what folks have called me my whole life. Jeffrey is reserved for being 12 years old and surrounded by media answering questions, awkwardly in the right field stands, or my mom was practically displeased about homework or grades. He was interviewed in the stands, ladies and gentlemen. That's how personal it was. But you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I've been to the major pro sports games. At no point would I reach into the stands and try to do anything, but he's kind of have an infamous thing, because anytime something like this happens, people are calling him up and asking his opinion, stuff like that. I don't think Jeffrey Maier really knew how bad it was going to be for him, being almost a household name in Baltimore and New York, even all these years. And again, just a reminder, he didn't catch the ball, okay? He basically deflected it in the stands. He didn't catch it. He reached over, and there you have it. But to make him a hero and to make him stuff, there's no journalist in the world is going to say, well, that was we need to cover the fact with fan interference. This is like someone in a Stanley Cup semifinal or final, a fan jumping on the ice, standing in front of Marc-Andre Fleury or Montembeault or any Shesterkin, and taking a puck and running and go back on the ice. That you don't see that in hockey. This is one of the most fucked up moments I think anybody's ever really seen. And everything that happens, reminding when Bartman came up, and that was an unfortunate situation because I don't think he meant to happen what happened. This is the first thing that came up, the Jeff Maier incident. And the idea, Baltimore had a good team that year. Did it cost them the World Series? Well, it just takes one moment. Look at the Cincinnati Reds in 1990. Look at Kirk Gibson in '88. Look at Freddie Freeman this year, man on one leg, hitting 4 home runs in 4 consecutive games. There's always turning points in a short series. Anyway, those two idiots, by the way, if you ever try that in Canada, you're going to get an awful fucking surprise. If you come to Skydome and try to do that same bullshit, I think you're going to get whacked. No pun intended. Basically, you're egotists and you don't respect the game. You're just there to be drunk and to be seen. Major League Baseball said you couldn't go to the game. The Yankees weren't going to kick you out. Major League Baseball should ban you for life and make you make a monetary donation to a fair play committee in New York State, for so everybody can play. You're not Yankee fans. You're fans of yourself. You're fucking egotists. And I'll say it to your face. I don't care who you are. You do that again in front of me, you're going to get an awful freaking surprise. I'm going to do an article on you that's going to find every negative in your life and cast it up in your face. It's not your family to blame. You are to blame. You need to be singled out but not given publicity. You need to be banned forever from Major League Baseball and pay a major fine and be charged with assault. Because Mookie Betts, you could have broke his hand or broke his arm easily. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of morons and New York Yankee Major League Baseball playoff history. If you like what we're doing here, exposing the bad side of the ALDS over the years since 1969, let me know what I like or subscribe. The comment section, this will not be open because I don't want any Yankee fans telling me, oh, you don't understand baseball. Listen, I played at the highest level in New Brunswick for 2 years. I've been covering for 41 years. You're both and Maier at the time was a moron, just looking for attention. Egotism has nothing to do with baseball. Has to do with maybe figure skating, but not with baseball. There's no crying in baseball, by the way. Suspend them. Thanks for listening. Bye.